All right, people, you guys are watching and or listening to another Nomadic Hole video for your guys' entertainment. So be sure you guys leave a like, leave a comment, share, and of course subscribe for more epic, awesome, cool, and funny content just like this one right here, right now on the Nomadic Hole YouTube channel. Again, be sure you guys leave a like, leave a comment, share, and of course, subscribe for more. We are about to get into a Discord chat with, once again, my good friend, Shoes of a Champion. Yeah, and get this Let Me Talk to You podcast going. I put a little Christmas thing here since it is going to be the our last live stream before the Christmas season gets into full swing. So, yeah, we've got a lot to talk about, a lot to unravel. So, let's get right into it. Alrighty, mic check, 1, 2, 3. Mic check, 1, 2, 3. Let's see how the stream is looking as far as mic is considered. Looks good. All right, and here we
talk to you. Go, ladies and gentlemen. This is Let Me Talk to Ya.
This is
and I am Shoes the Champion. Yeah.
Yeah. This is the Let Me Talk to You podcast with Shoes of a Champion and the Nomad Soul. Yeah. So let's get this show on the road. Yeah, it did sound like your mic was a little bit muffled at the beginning, but I believe it is picking up now. So let's start this podcast out.
All right. Here we go.
So, what do you want to talk about?
Well, first thing I want to talk about is Solo Sequoia.
All right, yeah.
That rivalry with that apparently now he's now going to be in a pointless rivalry with LA Knight out of nowhere. Like, no one asked for it. I don't give a shit. Really, this guy's fat. He's boring. He's a Samoa Joe knockoff, and he does the stupid fucking Umaga's Samoan spike. I could give two shits about this guy. He's overrated as fuck too, just because he's in that shitty ass stable, the Bloodline.
Yeah,
which is never good to begin with.
I don't like Solo Sequoia that much either. I think it's just because he's just literally knockoff Umaga. Like, he literally does the same moveset that Umaga did. Like, he does what? Clothesline, punch, kick, headbutt, Samoan drop, diving headbutt,
and a standing side
spike. Oh yeah, standing slam and then Samoan spike.
Super kick.
Oh yeah, and super. Umaga did a super kick too.
He just wrestles like
he literally.
He just wrestles like your typical fat wrestler.
Umaga because
unathletic fat
Umaga.
He's just your typical unathletic fat wrestler. He kind of wrestles like Samoa Joe too. He's got the same. The shorts he wrestles with is like the same as Samoa Joe. He's got like bleached blonde hair like Samoa Joe had at one point. He's built the same way. He comes out to like trumpets like Samoa Joe did, but it's like his music's like trumpet. His music is like trumpets or like mumble rap and shit. It's like, what's with the fucking mumble rap?
Yeah, I think it's just
like a mumble.
CFOS just does a lot of mumble rap. I just don't think they're not nearly as good as Jim Johnston was.
Yeah, CFOs, they're trash.
Yeah, I think that the only really good songs they made was I know they did the Jack Swagger theme song, which was fine, I guess. And then what else did they do? They did I know they created LA Knight's theme song. That's about it. That's all I could really think of.
That's about it. I would say that like the LA Knight song, it only kind of works because LA Knight made it work. If you gave it to like some jobber like Solo Sequoia or like Sami Zayn, the song wouldn't really fit them. Actually, how do you make a song that fits Solo Sequoia? You kind of can't. I don't think you can. The guy's got no character. He's just fat. He's just fat, and no, he's Samoan.
Yeah.
Enough said.
Yeah, he's just
Like a race
the thing.
and ethnicity doesn't make a wrestling character.
All these Anawai family people, they keep jumping in and like getting picked by WWE, like, but all they have is just nepotism. Like they don't really have they don't have like an it factor. They're not that guy. They're just meh. They're just boring, and they mostly just do the same moves, and like all their character really is oh, they're Samoan, and like you need a little bit more than that to get over.
Like just having a certain ethnicity doesn't make you have a character. Doesn't mean you have a character. That's their whole shtick. They're just Samoan. Like so fucking what? They're Samoan. Like name one great wrestler from the Anoa'i family, and don't say The Rock because The Rock's also half black and he's like adoptive. Like his mother was adoptive from the Anoa'i family.
Yeah,
Name one good Anoa'i family member as a wrestler. You can't. You literally can't.
I mean, I feel
You're all trash.
a lot of mid carders in the Anawai family. But like yeah, mostly like besides The Rock, everyone else was pretty much forgettable. Like, I mean,
Yeah, they're all fat and they're all boring.
just a mid carder, just a giant mid card heel. I mean, like the Wild Samoans are just like they were way back in the day, and they're pretty easily forgotten.
They're like comedy jobbers.
All that. No, they weren't comedy jobbers because they won 20 tag team titles across NWA and the WWF. So I wouldn't call them jobbers, but I would say for a lot of their career they were mid carders. They just weren't charismatic. They weren't like, they're not like gonna cut those Hulk Hogan promos that you're gonna remember forever, like a Stone Cold Steve Austin promo. They were just big Samoan guys, pretty much. Like that was their thing.
No one mentions them though. They're like only WWT mentions them because they like to talk about the great Anoa'i family, but other than that, no one really mentions them. And like when they talk about like their favorite tag teams of the past, they don't really talk about like those guys.
I don't
Only brought up to like hype up.
put the Anawais on a top 10 tag team, but I wouldn't really list them the worst tag team I've ever seen because, well, I've witnessed the New Day and like Team Hell No, which were way worse.
But like then again, I don't like they were nothing to write home about. They were just forgotten. They were like from like the 60s or 70s, and like no one remembers. No one was really alive to like have seen them, or no one really cares.
Yeah, they're just irrelevant now. Like sure they're WWE Hall of Famers, I guess, because that's what they put them in the Hall of Fame. But like, do you hear anybody talking about Anawai?
Hype up.
Do you hear anybody talking about them anymore?
It's to hype up the family tree, though.
Yeah,
No, you don't. But, like it's to hype. Like WWT does it to hype up. To like hype up the family as if they're like
Usos.
it's like this royal family.
That's all it is just to get the Usos and stuff over because that's all they have to offer is, oh, I'm also an Anawai. I'm also Samoan. Like that's really all they have to offer.
It's like
I don't know, man. The WWE
it's like
just really bad at creating these characters. Like
it's like Ric Flair had a son. Was he great? Was he great just because of who his father was? No, he wasn't. Like he wasn't. No one really looks back at him with like nostalgia and shit.
Like David Flair.
Dominic Mysterio, he's fucking horrible. Dominic Mysterio, he's another one. He's
pretty bad.
Like, just because just because he's the son of a famous wrestler, he had to skip developmental, skip the indies. He went straight to WWE and like was already like presented as like was already like presented to like the audience and shit as like an upper mid card or whatever.
Yeah,
Which he's pretty like heavily involved in like not good storylines, but they always had him involved in storylines.
just
And the Smarts do like to jizz off.
things. Yo.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought your mic cut out.
Cut out.
Yeah, I thought your mic cut out.
But yeah, that like yeah, it's like just because you're just because you're related, just because they're doing that with fucking Cody Rhodes and shit. Oh, he's the son of Dusty Rhodes. Let's be honest, Dusty Rhodes sucked. He was a fat guy that looked like an old lady. And he danced and shit. He wasn't great.
Nah, he was.
The WWE likes to tell you that he was like this. They were polka dots and shit. He wasn't a good wrestling
I agree with you. He was a jobber. Like he was a classic era comedy show jobber. Basically, he wasn't ever taken seriously.
He wasn't. Like if anything, like Goldust was better than his father. Goldust was like the only
I think Goldust
decent wrestling character.
He wrestled. And that's just because he was basically just a mid-carder. He had like an Intercontinental run and like some stuff with the hardcore and tag team titles. And then he was just across like multiple generations of wrestling. He wrestled from all the way from the classic era all the way up until the modern PG era and is still, I think he's still part-time wrestling today over in the indies.
Well, that's what it is. It's not, it's not like Goldust was great or anything, but it was like of like the three of his brother and his father, like he was the only one that wasn't really hyped up too much. That's the thing about Goldust too. That's why he wasn't hyped up like his father is and like his brother is now. He wasn't forced into the world title picture. He was where he belonged in the mid card, and he wasn't overhyped by the media, by the smarts.
Like really only his really only big huge feat in his career was like an upset win against the Undertaker in the 90s.
Wasn't it like a disqualification?
No, that was the casket match.
It was a casket match?
Yeah, the casket match that Goldust won.
Well, yeah, I mean, during that time, he did win the Intercontinental title. That's when they kind of still valued that title.
Yeah.
He won the Intercontinental title from Razor Ramon.
Yeah.
That kind of meant something at the time.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like it means that much anymore. I mean, the new title just looks awful. I don't know if you've seen it, but it's like a hexagon or whatever, and it's like doo-doo brown. It's weird.
Yeah, I don't know what that looks like. That looks like a cheap ass fucking. I don't know. It looks like a tribal tattoo.
You know what it looks?
I don't know what that's supposed to be.
You know what it looks like to me? It looks like it just looks like a giant rusty gear. They just took a giant rusty.
Yeah, it does look like a gear.
And threw it in the middle of a strap, and we're like, "This is the new Intercontinental title." And
yeah, like the gold and shit. It's like brown too.
That is the worst.
Yeah, it kind of looks rusty.
Roman has ever done in his career was make the Intercontinental Championship that belt.
Yeah, that it's just the titles these days. I don't know what the fuck. Whoever is designing the titles, whoever is designing the titles must be retarded. Must be really retarded. They need to get their heads checked.
Yeah, all they do is when they
do the giant W.
All they do is they for the undercards is they're doing this weird they have the Intercontinental Championship. It's this weird design. The tag team championships are just one's blue, the other's red. Now the bronze plates, they're now silver, but they still have the same Roman Centurion design on the front of them that they used to have in the PG era. And then the top titles. I mean, you got the women's titles, which are just white WWE PG era World Heavyweight Championships that with a red or a blue for SmackDown and Raw, because apparently we can't tell what brand a title is on unless it's colored red or blue. And then they have the new world titles. They used to be like the same as the women's titles, where it's red and blue, and it was just a cardboard cutout title. But now Cody Rhodes has this, just it's the same thing as the cardboard cutout, but it's gold apparently now, and it has just like more shiny fake diamonds on it. And then there's the other title that Gunturd has. I call it the Gunturd belt because it's basically just a copy of the old World Heavyweight Championship, but it has a freaking giant W in the middle of it that ruined the whole belt design, and it just looks stupid. And the only two people to ever hold it are Damian Priest and Gunturd, so the belt doesn't even matter anyways.
Chet Rollins too. Chet Rollins held it for like a year.
Just awful champions have held the belt. It was just like WWE just doesn't like, they have one good looking title, that's the US Championship, and now that dumb guy Nakamura, he has the belt.
That U.S. title is like the only decent title they've had. Like, I still prefer the old one from WCW, but it's like it's the only decent title that doesn't. It's the only title that doesn't look like a toy. I guess I'll say it doesn't look like the rest of the titles. And well, there's no value on them. You had a great U.S. champ. You had a great U.S. champ, and then you just give it to a fucking comedy jobber. And it looks like fucking Nakamura is going to keep that title for a while. You know, they're not going to hot potato it back. So it's like that U.S. title is dead in the water again. It's back to being a jobber title.
Yeah. And like LA Knight, when he held the title, they didn't really do much. They didn't really do much with him. Like, they just had him fight jobbers basically for the title. Like, I think he only defended the thing like 3 times, and he just fought a bunch of jobbers.
He fought the belt. He defended the title like on house shows as well, because he fought the same fucking guy 8 times in a row. It's like, well,
is that Pablo?
How does that mean? Like, why do you have Pablo Escobar, I think, or Andrade? He fought those 2 guys eight times in a row. It's like, what the hell are they thinking? It's like, you could tell they're trying to sabotage, LA Knight's U.S. title run, because it's like, what the fuck is that? You put a title on someone, you have him defend the title against the same guy 8 times in a row, the same 2 guys, and there was like no storyline at all. It was just, he comes out, he defends the title every week, he fights the same guys over and over, and then you have him lose it to a jobber, a fucking failed jobber who held the U.S. title before. Fucking Nakamura held that U.S. title 3 times already, and he won a Rumble. It's like, I know these accolades are fake and shit, but it's like, really, Nakamura got to hold the U.S. title 3 times. That shows how much they value that U.S. title.
They don't really care about
giving it to jobbers.
Yeah, they don't.
Also, Santino Marella held the U.S. title.
Yeah,
he's he beat Jake Hager for that U.S. title before.
Yeah, and then like WWE's just buried their mid card title to the ground basically.
Yeah, the titles don't mean shit anymore. That's why, like, when LA Knight did win the U.S. title, I was like, that's better than nothing. But like, it's still like, that still really means nothing. The U.S. title is the same title Santino Marella held.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Damian Priest and Gunter are fighting for one title, and fucking boring ass Roman and Cody are fighting for the other title. He's better than all of those guys. I don't get how they're in the main event scene and he's in the mid card. It's beyond me.
Yeah, I don't know, man. What do you want to talk about this UFC that happened?
Yeah, so you had Colby Covington versus Joaquin Buckley, and Joaquin Buckley won by doctor stoppage. Clipped Colby Covington's eyelid, and he had blood dripping. He had blood just dripping in his eye, and the doctor had to stop the fight.
Oh man, that sucks.
But wasn't it like I wouldn't like people are jumping to conclusions saying that Colby Covington's washed, but like no, he still did good in the second round. It's just the eye, like he got clipped in the eye. Buckley did that. Buckley clipped him in the eye. That's a good move. That's credit to Buckley. But it's like those that are saying that Colby Covington's washed. It's no, like Colby Covington was winning the second round before they stopped the fight.
Yeah.
Like Buckley won the first round, Covington won the second round, and they stopped the fight because of the doctor didn't want to let him continue with the blood dripping in his eye.
Yeah, that was.
So yeah, Colby Covington, he'll be back. He's not washed. That shit happens. That's the shit that happens in the UFC.
Yeah,
like he didn't want to
stopped.
He didn't want to stop the fight. He was winning the second round, but the doctor wanted to stop the fight.
That's unfortunate.
And he also came out with Hulk Hogan. He came out to the Real American song, and he had Hulk Hogan in his corner.
That's sweet. Yeah, I like Hulk Hogan.
Yeah.
The Real
that's
came out to the ring.
That's the that was the final. That was the final UFC of the calendar year. The next 2 weeks we won't have UFC. Although I will say, this coming Saturday we do have a rematch of Tyson Fury versus Alexander Usyk for the heavyweight title. That's coming up this Saturday.
Oh wow! Who are you going to pick?
I think Usyk's probably going to win the rematch again. He dropped Fury the last time and kind of dominated the last fight. But I wouldn't be surprised if Fury does catch him and knock him out. It's heavyweight boxing.
I'm going to give
Fury is a lot bigger.
Tyson Fury the puncher's chance, and I'm pretty sure after the last fight against Usyk, I think Fury was probably training his butt off for the new fight.
Don't be surprised if it could go either way.
Tyson Fury's a tough son of a gun.
Yeah, that's all. That's pretty much all. I guess next calendar year in January and February. I think we got Sean Strickland versus DDP, Dricus du Plessis in a rematch for the middleweight title.
Who would you?
I'm pretty excited about that one. I'm a huge Sean Strickland fan, so I'm rooting for Sean Strickland. I would say the fight could go either way. The last fight was very close.
I'll be rooting for Dricus du Plessis. I think that Dricus is the more technical fighter, and he's obviously the better wrestler.
I don't know. Strickland did start off his career as a grappler. He did wrestle was an amateur wrestler early in his MMA career.
Yeah, but
we'll find out.
Dricus though, he's like a completely different level of wrestler though than Sean Strickland, who started out as like a high school wrestler.
Well, he is a lot bigger.
Yeah, it's going to be a close fight either way.
We'll find out. So I would say the last fight, I don't know how the fuck Israel Adesanya got a immediate title shot when he got dominated by Strickland. He got dominated by Strickland, and he gets an immediate rematch, and then Strickland had to fight. He had to take a fight with Paulo Costa, another contender, and then he had to win that fight to get a title shot. It didn't really make after the way he lost the title was close. It was a split decision. He lost his title by split decision and didn't get an immediate rematch. Meanwhile, Israel Adesanya gets a unanimous decision loss. And he got his immediate title shot. I think it's just backstage politics. It didn't make any sense to me. But I am glad Strickland's getting his rematch.
Yeah. Well, I'm definitely hyped for the Strickland fight. What do you think about the drama between Jake Paul and Conor McGregor apparently now?
I think it's just all talk. It's probably not really going to lead to a fight. That's always the thing with Jake Paul. He gets into Twitter argument with an MMA fighter, and then they tease that a fight's going to happen, but it never happened. They did it with Francis Ngannou, Alex Pereira. He called out too, and that really didn't lead it. Plus, I don't think Conor McGregor's ever going to fight again. The Michael Chandler fight didn't happen.
Yeah.
Step into Mike Perry called him out. Mike Perry called him out for a bare knuckle fight, and never happened. They even squared off and like they went face to face in the ring, and that fight just never happened.
Yeah. I mean, there was even was it Nate Diaz calling out Jake Paul to a MMA match over in PFL, and that never flourished into anything.
It never happened. That never happened. I know it's not like I knew that wasn't gonna happen because I don't know for these fights always just happen in boxing matches. You never see the boxers fight in MMA. Like the only time you saw that happen was James Toney versus Randy Couture. Like all these like MMA versus boxing matches, it just happens in boxing. Like like Mayweather McGregor, you knew Mayweather was gonna win, and fucking like Jake Paul, he fights all these MMA fighters. You kind of knew Jake Paul was gonna win those fights, especially against like Ben Askren, who was never a great boxer to begin with.
True. I mean,
But, it's all for the.
Ben Askren,
I'm not pissed off.
striker.
Like it annoys a lot of people. It annoys a lot of people, but it never annoyed me. Like people get so worked up about Jake Paul, but it's like he's doing the same thing Conor McGregor did. Trash talk his way into a fight, and he gets people to tune in, and they want to see him lose. And he wins his fight, people are mad and shit.
Yeah.
It doesn't anger me.
Yeah. I do think.
Plus, at least Jake Paul, he's not woke.
I do think that if Jake Paul and Conor McGregor do want to decide to do this money fight, because it would be absolutely another cash grab money fight. I mean, being a weight bully, Jake Paul being a weight bully, picking on a guy that's like half your size, a guy who's an MMA fighter, not a boxer, a guy who's old and is pretty much ready to retire, and a guy who needs money because of his his jail stuff after the hashtag Me Too charges came out against him. Like, that would be an enticing offer for McGregor, so I could see the fight actually potentially happening. But I would say Jake Paul probably ends up winning just because he'd have that advantage with the height, the weight, and just being focused solely on boxing and not being like a kickboxer who's old, banged up, and injured.
Well, it's going to be in a boxing match too, so it's like it's like every other Jake Paul match. He fights an MMA fighter in boxing. Like he never fought Diaz, and like he never fought in MMA. Like if it was an MMA match, then yeah, like Jake Paul would probably lose. But in boxing, he's gonna win. He's just been focused on boxing, like with boxing and shit. Like when he fought, like let's say he fought Diaz, he fought Tyron Woodley, he fought even Mike Perry. Like these guys weren't pure boxers.
Yeah.
Whereas I don't know. Well, actually, I don't know. Like if he did fight like a pure boxer, like Alex Pereira, then I actually think Alex Pereira would probably win in a boxing.
A pure boxer. He fought Tommy Fury and he lost. He got knocked down like 3 times in that fight.
Oh yeah, that's right. He fought Tommy Fury. And Tommy Fury is not even like a contender.
Fight was
mid-card
decision. The refs had it as a. The judges, they had it as a split decision. I don't think that was a split decision. I think that was unanimous. Jake Paul got knocked down 3 times in that fight. That's a unanimous decision.
I think they did that because Tommy Fury slipped, and then they ruled it as a knockdown. So I guess that's what made them.
One should still
be a split decision.
Oh,
I knew they'd split.
Oh God,
they always do that.
Alex would kill Paul. Yeah, he would. Alex would just squash Paul. I mean, he's just so much bigger, so much taller, and he's in his prime, so much more talented. Yeah, he beats Jake Paul.
And he was before UFC, he was a kickboxer. He was a kickboxer that had that devastating left hook. One of the most powerful punchers. Like he would win against Jake Paul. Plus, he's a lot bigger than Jake Paul too. But that fight's not going to happen because, like after the Mike Perry fight, Jake Paul called out Alex Pereira and even was on a video chat with him after the fight, and that was all talk.
Yeah, it's with this stuff though, it's probably just a big PR stunt and it's all drama at the end of the day. I wouldn't get too worried about it. I don't think it's even that serious right now. I think it's just a little bit of Twitter banter.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah, I mean
So yeah, that's
pretty much.
what I think about it. I don't really think it's gonna happen. I mean, it could happen, but like I think that's like it's more likely to not happen. The Jake Paul Conor McGregor fight.
Yeah, more likely to not flourish. I mean, especially with the charges and stuff. Like, do you really think that anybody wants to see Conor McGregor right now? I mean, it's not
He's
looking
canceled right now.
like he's just, like canceled completely. Like people are like UFC gyms are like taking down his banners and stuff. It's crazy.
Yeah, like gyms are he's like not out, like his photos and shit aren't in gym, like they're being taken down in gyms and shit, and like he's getting the Benoit treatment.
Pretty much. I mean, like
Like I don't.
I don't really completely agree with it because I do think that he was one of the most influential kickboxers. But yeah, I mean, it's still, like I get why they don't really want that. Conor McGregor. He's not exactly a role model. I mean, I still see that they're still selling Proper 12 in the stores though.
By the way, Proper 12 like dropped him. Like his name's no longer in Proper 12.
Yeah, it's just the Irish whiskey brand by itself now. Anthony Wyke says, "I thought Jake Paul announced he retired. Did he?"
That's Logan Paul. Retired. He retired from boxing. He's focusing on fake ass. He's focused on fake fighting.
I think he's done with pro wrestling too now, though. I think he's doing Prime and
He is.
and Feastables and Lunchly now.
Yeah, I heard a while back that he was retiring from boxing to focus on fake fighting.
Yeah, well,
But I mean, he probably makes enough money from the fucking Lunchables already in his podcast. So like, I don't. Doesn't surprise me. He doesn't really need the fight.
This is the news actually. It says here on Newsweek, Logan Paul announces surprising retirement from WWP. So yeah, he's done with WWP as I suspected because he lost the United States Championship. And he's going to focus on the Lunchly and Feastables and KSI brain rot stuff and Prime and his podcast.
I guess I'll say the only thing he good like at least I'm glad he at least put like the last moment of Logan Paul and WWP was him putting over LA Knight. So I'm glad that happened. You'll never see Logan Paul in WWP again.
Yeah,
he did one good thing.
I'm not losing any sleep over Logan Paul not being in WWE.
I don't give a shit though. I really don't give a shit though. I don't fucking care about WWP. Like other than LA Knight, I don't really give a shit. I'm glad he's gone from WWP because he brings eyeballs to their product, and they don't fucking deserve more eyeballs for burying LA Knight and pushing all these jobbers. So
yeah,
I'm glad he's no longer with them.
Yeah, I just think it's so like Logan Paul's title reign was pretty mid in all honesty, and his time in the company, it just felt like a joke in the first place and a big PR stunt.
That's what it was. I mean, you really think he gives a shit about fucking pro wrestling? No, he just did it because they probably offered him a massive contract, and
they gave him,
because he would have brought eyeballs to the front.
Yeah, that, and he could promote his product Prime.
And they had a Prime sponsorship from him.
Yeah. I think that's what it mostly was, the Prime sponsorship and stuff. I mean, Logan Paul, he is you have to admit, he's a adventurous guy. So like I could see why, like if I was offered to train for a few months and then join WWE, and get $1 million contract, I would do it too.
Oh yeah, I mean, we'd all do that. If someone if fucking Nose Man offered me a massive contract, I'd take it. Just for the fucking money. And, they actually gave him a title. Like, usually don't, like, they gave him a title, like, fucking Bad Bunny, which, by the way, fuck Bad Bunny. He's a leftist. He's a fucking soy boy
He's a mumble rap.
pussy. He's a mumble rapper that wears dresses, and he endorsed Kamala Harris a couple months ago. But Bad Bunny, he only had like 2 matches, and that was it. Like, where Logan Paul, he actually, like, he was a part timer, but like he actually was like more consistently there than fucking pussy boy Bad Bunny. I'm just gonna call him that. I fucking hate Bad Bunny, by the way. But he was like a celebrity that actually like was consistently there.
Yeah, I mean,
it makes sense because he's an athlete.
Like AEW type high flying bull crap where he do flips and shit, and like all the marks loved him. Like they thought he was the greatest thing since sliced bread. I was like, dude, this guy sucks.
Well, it makes sense that he'd be more consistently active there because he was an athlete. He boxed somewhat. He was somewhat of an athlete, whereas Bad Bunny was just a mumble rapper.
Yeah, Bad Bunny's just some guy. Like I don't know why he was overhyped. It was crazy.
Bad Bunny doesn't have one athletic bone in his body. I don't know how. I don't know who the fuck thought it was a good idea to have him wrestle. It just looked retarded. And by the way, he did beat up a main event. I put this in quotation marks. A main eventer. He beat Damian Priest. He pinned him.
I mean, I'm not surprised.
Which is what kind of.
Damian Priest is a bum. I know I'm not a fan of Damian Priest either. But yeah, apparently
he's garbage.
Supposedly your main eventer. That guy's held the fucking world title.
He's a world champ. He's a former world champion. I don't like.
And for Money.
Wow, the guy was a world champion.
Yeah, he had more Money in the Bank too.
Like, yeah, he had the super fucking Money in the Bank shit.
Yeah.
And like, he won the world title. Like, this guy was a world champion. Well, like LA Knight's not a world. Like, LA Knight never got to win a world title, but this guy did. It's baffling. Yeah. I don't know who's gonna like honestly, who the fuck's gonna remember? Who cares about Damian Priest?
His hair
like, who thought world champion when they saw this guy?
I think
he's got mumble rapper hair.
It's gross, man. His hair's not even that nice.
He has like pink, dreadlocks. He's like
rainbow colored, pink, purple. Like it looks like when like Derrick Henry's old haircut. When he had that thing on the back of his helmet, like that's what his haircut kind of looks like.
Pink, purple dreadlocks.
Yeah, but it's pink.
It doesn't look like a tough
brown.
Like when the guy won the world title, I was fucking surprised. I was like so surprised. I was like, what? They actually view this guy as the main eventer? Like, because they had him jobbed to a bubble rapper. They had him jobbed to a celebrity. Dude, a celebrity trying to wrestle in it. Like I thought he was just a jobber, but then when he actually won the world title, I was like, what? He won the world title? I don't know. Like WWE, they're fucking weird, dude. They're like the way they look at wrestlers is weird.
I just think they've just
backstage politics.
They've just completely lost how to book in the backstage politics, and it's just it's not. They're not that good actually. Like especially the PGing of WWE pretty much sent them on a downhill spiral for the worse.
Yeah, I mean the ratings have been in a massive decline. Like wrestling's not as big as it used to be in the late 90s. There's just a decline since then. And over time, just the guys they pushed just got fucking worse and worse and worse over the years.
Yeah, I know.
It's like go on the street.
Yeah, go for it.
Go on the street. Ask anyone if you know the name Damian Priest. No one's probably gonna even know who the fuck Damian Priest is.
Yeah, nobody cares about Damian Priest. He's just a jobber, dude.
Everyone knows who Roddy Piper is. The guy was he was also an actor. Back in the day, like he actually made a name for himself out of wrestling. Everyone knows who Roddy Piper is. He was never a world champion. Damian Priest was a world champion, though.
Yeah, I can't believe they made Damian Priest world champion. It's just so baffling.
Yeah. Meanwhile, LA Knight can't. LA Knight can't win a world title. Alex Riley never won a world title. Ryback never won a world title. It's baffling.
It's stupid, man. It's stupid.
Yeah, stupid.
Yeah. Let's talk about well, I want to talk about I guess I'll talk about what happened the other day with the Cowboys. That we actually won a game again. We beat the Panthers. So does that mean anything? No. We beat up on a jobber team, like one of the worst, like literally the worst team in the NFL. Cooper Rush looked good. He threw 3 touchdowns, and Micah Parsons and Eric Kendricks and Maurice Liafu, or Liafau, I should say, actually sacked the shit out of Bryce Young, that bum from Alabama. He's like 5'9" midget dude, mumble rapper. Like sacked the crap out of him. But like people are like, there's some fans of the Cowboys that are saying that this means that we're going to make a playoff run or something, like we're going to win out the rest of your season. Maybe in Madden, I guess, but
Delusion.
in real life, they're just
delusion. That's the life. That's the life of a sports fan. Delusion.
Yeah, they're just completely.
But every year is like, next year is always it's going to be next year. We're going to win it next year. They say that. They've been saying that for the past 30 years.
It's going to be our year. It's going to be our year every year. And no, I'm sorry, but I mean, if you made the same mistakes that were made in that Carolina Panthers game against a better team, you lose that game. But my predictions did come out to be right for the last few wins, that we were going to beat the New York Football Giants, right? We were going to beat the New York Football Giants on Thanksgiving, that we were going to be competitive against the Bengals because they have a shitty defense and because Joe Burrow just is kind of overrated, to be honest. And then we were going to beat up on the Carolina Panthers, and then I'm predicting that we're going to lose out the rest of the season.
Yeah.
I don't know if you think
I said it already.
that, but I would say that's the accurate prediction right now.
I said it already. The Cowboys aren't fucking. They aren't even going to make the playoffs.
They're not. They're going to be probably coming third in the division, I think. We're going to come behind the Commanders. The Commanders, they'll probably make the wild card slot, I think. That I'm
fucking Jalen Hurts. He's back.
Off. Yeah.
Jalen Hurts is having his revival.
Not really, because he almost lost to Bryce Young and the Panthers, and he's been playing really bad football. I mean, I heard Arian Foster say, or not Arian Foster, LaShawn McCoy say that like Jalen Hurts, like his running, he looks like he's injured. Like he's not as fast as he used to be. And that's just what happens when you're a scrambling quarterback. Injuries just take their toll over the years.
Well, there's a reason why, like, you don't see any like Russell Wilson. He's been a jobber the past few years of his he won a stupid bowl like in his early in his career, and ever since then he's just been a jobber quarterback. But, he lost his scrambling ability, and he was just there. He was just like he was a mediocre pocket passer. That's all. He just
remember.
He couldn't scramble anymore.
Russell,
so he was basically just useless
too. Like Russell Wilson, like he had Marshawn Beast Mode Lynch on his team. He had the was it? I think it's the Legion of Boom defense, right?
Yeah, he had like one of the best defenses of that era.
Cam Chancellor and Richard.
But he was given all the credit. But the media gave him all the credit for that, despite he literally game managed. He game managed, but the media made it seem like he was the sole reason why they won
against
the Super Bowl.
Tom Brady and the Patriots, and he ended up throwing a pick at the end of it.
Yeah, Yeah, he cost him the game where like, he could have handed the ball off on the one, but decided to pass it. And yeah, he cost him the Super Bowl with an interception.
Yeah, he costed the Super Bowl. And everybody said, you have Marshawn Beast Mode Lynch at the goal line, right, like in the late in the game to close out the game. All you have to do is just hand off the ball and run it. And what do you decide to do? You run a play action and throw a pick with Russell Wilson.
Yeah, that. By the way, that was scripted. There was no logical reason why anyone would do that. You could tell that was scripted.
I don't know any reason why the Seahawks head coach would make that call. It was terrible.
Yeah, it was in the script.
That call.
Yeah, they wanted to have that so
that call must have been made.
That was a script so that because like Brady needed to win that Super Bowl to tie Joe Montana and Terry Bradshaw for 4 Super Bowl wins. So that's like that was the story. That was the whole storyline. Like, can Brady reach Montana and Bradshaw? And yeah, you have this dramatic outcome that like easily could have been avoided. Like, there was just no logical reason why throw the ball on the 1 yard line in the Super Bowl of all games when you have, when you have a game manager quarterback who's not really great, not really been known to like save game, like not really known to like have like massively change the outcome of the game back. You got a power back that's like one of the best on the goal line.
Yeah.
And you decide to pass the ball.
Yeah, it just didn't make any sense, Skip. It didn't make any sense.
It's a fucking 1 yard line. So, yeah, that was scripted. You could clearly tell that whole play was scripted.
Yeah, it was just it was fake. Let's talk about did you hear about the aliens in New Jersey?
We're talking about that video clip of the plane that like disappeared and shit and all the drones.
So yeah, basically it's more than just one video clip. Apparently there's been like over 1,000 reports to the FFA of UAPs and UFOs over New Jersey. And a bunch of people are taking videos of the drones and stuff. And it's getting pretty crazy. It's like a lot of them are looking like, things that we haven't seen before. Some of them look like stuff that is familiar. Like one of the video clips I saw, it's like this white orb, right? It's this white orb in the sky. And basically, it kind of looks to me like, I don't know if you remember the Chinese spy balloons from 2023 that Joe Biden let fly over and across the entire United States, continental U.S., before they took it down over in the ocean for outside of North Carolina. But that one there's the one drone that kind of looks like that balloon, that spy balloon from China.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, I mean that
was
one of the drones looked like to me.
Yeah, that was. I don't know if I believe the video though. For all we know, it could be edited.
Well, there's that one.
No, but
there's tons of.
We don't know, but
And the reason that more people are seeing more drones, because like over the last few days, there's been more sightings, and you see these ones with the FFA confirmed green and red flashing lights. So basically, these lights, they're legal by the FFA standards, meaning they're ours. Those are like U.S. government military drones flying around looking for those white orbs that were found. So, I mean, it's pretty clear right now that the government is interested in what's going on over there. I would say they probably know what's actually going on and they're hiding it based on how the government has acted, like John Kirby and whatnot, Biden's White House. They're like just being very nonchalant about it and pretending that it's like nothing to be worried about, which tells me they already know what the orb thing was. And
Yeah.
Mike says there's a video from Phoenix. A drone touches the orb and falls out of the sky. Okay. That's crazy. But yeah, there's a whole bunch of videos online. If you just look it up, New Jersey drones, New Jersey aliens. Everyone's saying it's aliens. Everyone's saying it's aliens. Apparently, I don't know. What do you think?
I mean,
I think it's Chinese.
so like to me, I mean, yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if that was the case. It was like Chinese and shit spying on us. Like, I don't know. I don't really know for sure.
Mm.
Like, the government won't tell us. They'll never tell us.
Fact of it happened again, and it's just Chinese spy balloons. And then we scrambled our own drones just to look for this Chinese spy balloon or whatever. Apparently, there was apparently of the thousands of supposed sightings, most of them are sightings of already like registered aircraft and just like people's drones as well as government drones that the government already knows about. And only like 5 to 10 of them are like actually confirmed UAPs.
Yeah. Really weird shit.
Yeah.
I don't know. What do you think? Like, what do you think about it?
UAP,
you think,
or it just means unidentified aerial phenomena.
Do you think it's aliens? Do you think it's like the Chinese and shit? Do you think it's like the government?
I said it's either it's most likely the Chinese spying on us like last time. Joe Biden is obviously willing to just let the Chinese spy on us. He let not one but 2 Chinese drones fly over us. He also let a drone fly over Canada. He's been willing to let them just fly over us in the past. Why would all of a sudden he give a shit about Chinese spy balloons? I think he's just letting the Chinese spy on us, and the Chinese are getting away by sending these things and claiming they're weather balloons. Then there's the other possibility that it could be government experimentation. I think they're actually whipping out a lot of their new drones actually because maybe the Chinese have a technology with these balloons that we are interested in or have some sort of reason to worry about intelligence wise. But I mean, I wouldn't be shocked if some of these other drone sightings, the ones with the lights on them, that are keeping recorded and talked about, I wouldn't be surprised if those are just our own government technology that is. It might not even be classified. It might just be little known to the public.
Probably
aliens because, and I do actually believe in extraterrestrial life. I just think at least the extraterrestrial life and that could be in our solar system. I think it's going to be on Europa, and it's most likely single-celled microorganisms that live beneath the surface of Europa. Because Europa has volcanic activity, water ice, and has inflection from Jupiter's gravitational pull, which actually stirs up its volcanic activity. And when there's volcanic activity and water ice, well, that is conditions that is enough to bring about life. And we have life on the planet, a lot of single-celled organisms that actually live deep underwater in a similar type of environment. So I wouldn't be shocked if there's something like that on Europa.
Yeah, I wouldn't be either.
But as far as actually intelligent alien life, I don't know. Maybe Proxima Centauri b, which is just our closest planet that's similar to Earth. It's literally the closest star to us, Proxima Centauri, besides the sun. But I mean, by us, I mean our solar system. So it is the closest star to us. And yeah, hold on. And yeah, I mean, it's really, I mean, I think maybe there might be aliens over there, but who knows how far along they are, if there's aliens on Proxima Centauri B. They could be very, primitive species, and if they're advanced enough to fly across solar system, then why would they necessarily be interested in us? In us particularly, especially since we would be boring to them since we don't have the ability to cross solar systems yet. All we can do
pretty
is
much.
unmanned satellites out into deep space. And yeah, our furthest we've gotten along was Voyager, and that isn't Voyager isn't really it's not that far into space in the cosmic sense of things. It's not even close to Proxima yet. And that's already out in deep space.
Yeah.
And they're talking up a storm in the comment section over here, ladies and gentlemen. So drones. We also have the Wolf Den saying the host of the show can drop the link to join.
The link. Join the stream. I mean, if you guys got Discord.
I mean, look, we've got I could show you guys the link to a bunch of these videos. If Anthony White, because he's talking about the drones and wants to send in a link, then you can try to drop it. I don't think it's gonna actually put the the link in, like actually make it a link, but you could probably just type in or copy paste in the link, and then you could copy paste it from there into the browser and then come up with whatever website you're trying to send. But I don't think it's going to link where you can just click the link and then go to the site. They're just talking about this drone wars story, apparently. The Phoenix drones. Very interesting.
I know very little about it. I just saw one clip, and yeah, that's pretty much all I know. I just saw the one clip of the plane disappearing and shit.
It's very weird. It's starting to get a little bit dark, so I'm going to turn on a light real fast. I'll be right back. The Wolf Den. I'm talking about a link to join Nomad. Would have to post. He wants people to join. Oh, like join in the discussion or join in the Discord?
I think they're talking about joining the stream.
The stream? I mean, right now we're just doing a 2-person stream, but if you guys go to my Discord, and I can give you guys my Discord name right here. I'm going to drop it. So if you look here, it is Da Nomadic Cole, or Da Nomadi Cole, actually, 808 altogether. If you go into Discord, then you can add me as a friend, and then you could be joined into a future episode, and we can figure out something to talk about. But right now, we're just doing a Let Me Talk to You podcast with Shoes of a Champion for this episode. Yeah, jump in the Discord. We talk about cool stuff on here.
Yeah.
On to other.
Yeah,
This week, guys, RFK Jr. is supposed to appear in front of the Senate, so that way they can confirm him to be in the Trump cabinet as Secretary of HHS. And by the sound of it, it sounds like Bernie Sanders is going to vote yes to confirm RFK Jr., and that's a crucial vote from the Senate. It's one of the very few swing votes in the Senate, a vote that could go either way, and he's actually choosing to go and vote for Maha. Very exciting news.
Yeah, pretty surprising. I haven't really been following Bernie that much. I just know he was a Democrat. Like he ran as a Democrat in like 2016 to 2020. But like apparently he's independent now.
Yeah. Well, I mean, in his Senate, he's been an independent because he never fully aligned with the Democrat Party, and it seems like I'm actually applauding what Bernie's doing right now because he's actually waking people up to the fact that the DNC is corrupt, and I'll take that any way that's possible. So yeah, I mean, I'll applaud Bernie on that, wanting to stand up to the corrupt corporations, and a vote for Bobby. It's going to be great. It's going to be great.
Yeah. So is there anything else you want to add?
Oh,
you want to talk about it?
Well, yeah, I got other stuff to talk about as well. We have other news. So recently, Israel had a ceasefire with Hezbollah, which is actually that's actually good news because it seems like that the Israel-Gaza war is starting to come to a close, and I think under the Trump administration, it will fully close out. Like about time. It's like it's finally about time for this war to close out. I mean, there's really not much war more to be had between Israel and Hamas because, well, Israel basically flattened their everything, basically, like just blew everything to the ground, and just like left absolutely no trace of anything left, pretty much. So, they kind of got what they wanted there. They destroyed everything pretty much. And yeah, I mean, Hezbollah is basically surrendering. Hamas is pretty much waving the white flag, saying they want a deal. Donald Trump says the person who doesn't want a deal is Bibi Netanyahu. So, hopefully Trump can actually coerce Bibi into, making a deal. And I think he can. He did write The Art of the Deal anyways.
Yeah. We will find out. I mean, Trump's not even in office yet. They're already talking about him.
Yeah, they're already talking about, it's just to show.
I should tell you something about the last administration.
The last administration was absolutely garbage and just let everything go to crap. I don't know why on earth people, like people like Mr. Lichtman were saying that Joe Biden had like successes really in foreign policy. He really wasn't that successful. Like his foreign policy trash. He under his administration, there's literally three wars that started, 3 major wars that started. So yeah, it's really not good. Not a good look for Joe Biden.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, and what does Joe Biden do? Instead of trying to solve these wars, he just keeps throwing money. Joe Biden is like that person who thinks you can solve everything by just throwing money at the problem.
Like, no, they're just gonna keep continuing, and he'll just keep throwing money, and it's like you gotta be real dummy to think money is gonna solve that. You know, if it didn't work, like he kept doing that, and he kept like after like the first, second, third time, you know that wasn't gonna do anything. That wasn't gonna stop anything. All he was doing was funding the war.
You know, all he does is just keep sending money and keep investing in the war, and just, you know, he'll say one thing and go do the opposite too. It was crazy. So I'm glad that the old man is finally going to leave soon, but I'm worried because, you know, he's pardoning everyone. Joe Biden, he pardoned Hunter Biden, and he's looking to pardon others too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
he lied about it so many times.
He's a big liar. I just hope he doesn't. I just hope he doesn't pardon Anthony Fauci, because that guy needs to go to jail.
Knowing Biden, he probably will.
That's what scares me, because Joe Biden is, well, he's corrupt. Joe Biden is corrupted.
Yeah. Crooked Joe Biden.
Yeah, just every day though we march closer. We're so close. Okay, we're literally 1, 2, 3, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. We're 21 days away from Donald Trump taking office.
Yeah, 21 days.
21. Is it January 20th or January 6th? I think it's January 20th, actually.
I have no idea.
It's like the official inauguration. But people keep telling me that, like, on January 6th, something's going to happen. Because, you know, it's just the day that people are going to choose to.
Possible.
Can we just rename, like, if the left decides to go and have a riot, then we could rename January 6th to National Riot Day.
Pretty much.
On January 6th, there's a new riot.
I mean, they made sure we don't for the past 4 years they've been making sure we don't forget January 6th.
Yeah. Well, did you hear what happened?
This time it's our. If that happens, this time it's our turn.
Did you hear what happened with the January 6th stuff though?
Oh, what?
Is that they found out that there was 26 FBI agents on the ground, including Ray Epps, that incited violence on January 6th. Also, the other Fed was the Pike on Heads guy. Or the head
Pike on Heads?
Yeah, the Heads on Pike guy. So there's this one guy, he's a Fed, but he's dressed up as a Trump supporter, and he points and he yells out. He's like in front of people like protesting out in front of the Capitol, and he points at the Capitol building. He says, "We can take that thing." And then the guy, this random boomer comes up, also wearing a MAGA hat, and he goes, "And then do what? Heads on pikes." So he incited violence.
Heads on pike.
Yeah, he was
incited violence.
A rabble rouser and trying to get this group of people to storm the Capitol. And there's 26 agents that were involved. They just released that there's 26 agents that were involved, and this is out of a government self-investigation. And that's pretty rare, because usually when the government self-investigates themselves, they're at fault, or they're at fault, but they hide that they're at fault. But this time, they actually basically admitted that they were at fault.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just crazy how quickly things are turning around. Oh, how the turntables. Anthony White said,
Well, the tables have turned.
Annie White says, "How can a member of a crime family pardon another member of a crime family?" Well, because one of the members of the crime family is literally the president right now.
Abuse of power.
Yeah, abuse of power. Unfortunately, that is a power that the president has. You know, whether you like it or not. I mean, to the favor. I mean, there's that like other people that Trump had pardoned as well. He had pardoned a whole bunch of guys, including like Kodak Black and stuff. I think Kodak Black was in there for like either drug or I think it was RICO charges or something. But
Kodak Black.
here's the thing: Kodak Black isn't nearly as bad as Hunter Biden.
Who is he?
He's just a rapper. He's Snoop Dogg's friend.
Oh, just a crapper.
Yeah, just a rapper.
Mumble rapper.
I think a mumble rapper. I don't know.
What? When he was involved in drug dealing?
Either drugs or RICO charges. I can't really remember.
Oh. And Trump pardoned them?
Yeah, Trump decided to pardon him. And that's how he won the black vote, because then Snoop Dogg and Ice Cube said, "Oh, we like Trump now because he pardoned our friend Kodak Black."
Oh.
And Snoop Dogg said, "I got nothing for love."
But I thought he was racist.
Yeah, he was racist 3 years ago. That was a smart move by Trump because it got the black community more on his side, and then he ended up winning like 20% of the black community in this election.
Yeah.
Compared to the last elections where he won like 8% and 6% of the black community respectively, like 20% is huge.
Yeah, it's a pretty big jump.
Yeah, very, very large jump in the total. One more thing as well. I want to talk about one more thing in the geopolitics is that so Syria right now has actually basically become a narco state, which basically just means they're a state that's just being used to, it's a lawless and like state that is split between multiple countries. Yeah, that is split between multiple countries, and then it's just being used to pump drugs out of. It's a narco state now. But yeah, Syria has been essentially balkanized. So basically that means it's being split into territories. So there's one territory that is owned by the US, and that has all the opium fields and whatnot. And then there's another territory that's owned by Al Qaeda, another territory owned by like ISIS and some small rebels, another territory owned by the UN, and then Israel also wants a piece of Syria as well. So that's also happening. That's another significant world event going on right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically our government's just being illicit and basically doing its own drug trafficking program with the pharmaceutical companies, since they own a bunch of opium fields and poppy fields in Syria now. There's also a bunch of oil that they have as well. So yeah, Syria is just now they're basically this lawless anarchy, and it's actually kind of sad to see because like Damascus, which is where the Catholic St. Paul used to be, Damascus is now just becoming a complete crap hole now.
Is it?
Yeah, it's just going to crap now.
Oh, Syria's in the Middle East.
Yeah, Syria's in the Middle East. We've been in Syria since Obama. And the whole reason we were in Syria
What
was
do you mean we've been in,
because we were
like, our
trying to
troops were there?
against the Russians.
Like, we were working, like,
Yep.
are we like, allies with them?
No. We're just there bombing shit.
Or at war with them?
We were just there bombing shit and
Oh, we're just bombing Syria.
bombing shit, taking oil, and trying to make sure that the Russians don't take over Syria. Basically, we were just being assholes overseas. Anthony Wyke says, charged with rape in 2016, burglary, kidnap, false imprisonment, drug charges. This dude's a joke. I guess Anthony Wyke doesn't like Kodak Black very much. I don't know.
Kodak Black.
You can say you don't like. You can say
Fuck Kodak.
Kodak Black, but Kodak Black is the reason why the black community largely voted for Trump. So, I mean, at the end of the day, you could thank Kodak Black for getting Trump in office.
Yeah, I'm not gonna glaze the guy though.
Him, but yeah,
He just had his part in history. That doesn't make him not a piece of shit.
he says, why
He did that.
God-given green earth would Trump pardon that sack of shit? Because he wanted to win the black vote. It was 4D chess.
I'll just say this: it was though I disagree with that pardoning. It was a smart move to get. I don't know. I guess it was the move worked to fool people to sway the vote. But yeah, I do disagree with pardoning him then. But hey, what can I do? That's just my opinion.
Says Trump is an ass.
That was a piece of shit.
Anthony White says Trump is an ass licker for that one.
Pretty much.
Hey, but it worked though.
But the guy, everyone's been calling, like, there's just been this narrative that the guys are racist. They've just been saying that for years. And
well,
after he did that, even though I disagree with it,
if Biden can
it worked for these idiots. It worked for these.
Trump can pardon Kodak Black. That's what I'm gonna say.
Pretty much.
I don't know. That's pretty much all I got to say about this. Any closing remarks? Shoes of a champion.
Well, we won. The election's over. The SJW's lost. I want to say, I don't know, tune in to the big boxing event this coming Saturday. And, yeah, that's pretty much it.
Alrighty.
And that's not an insult. That is just a fact of life.
Yeah. Anyways, thank you guys for tuning in and watching this episode of the Let Me Talk to You podcast with the Nomadic Cole. Big thanks to everybody who tuned in and watched this video. Again, if you haven't already, be sure you guys leave a like, share, and subscribe for more. Nailed it. Thank you, and goodbye. Ending stream in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.